What kind of predator stalks the mist, leaves prints where no big cat should live, and vanishes before the gun is raised? Welcome back to Rick's Storyverse. Step closer, night wanderers, truth seekers, and listeners of old shadows. Tonight we cross the windswept moorlands of southwest England, where granite hills rise through fog, sheep disappear without sound, and for decades people have sworn that something powerful moves through the heather after dark. This is the story of the Beast of Bodmin Moor. The place is Bodmin Moor, a vast stretch of wild land in Cornwall, England. Open moorland, ancient stone circles, lonely roads, towers of jagged granite standing like broken teeth against the sky. Weather changes fast there. Mist rolls in without warning. Distances deceive the eye. And once the sun drops low, the moor can feel older than memory itself. It is the perfect place for legends, but this one did not begin in medieval times. It began in modern Britain. In the 1970s and 1980s brought a growing number of strange reports. Farmers found sheep dead in the fields. Some carcasses appeared torn in ways they said did not match foxes or dogs. Witnesses claimed to see a large black cat moving across hillsides, low to the ground, long tail, silent stride, too large to be any house cat, too smooth to be a dog. At first, many laughed. Britain had no wild panthers, no native pumas, no secret leopards breeding on the moor. The idea sounded absurd, but the reports did not stop. They multiplied. Drivers on narrow roads described yellow eyes reflecting in the headlights before a dark shape bounded into the bushes. Hikers said they watched a muscular cat-like animal cross ridgelines at dawn. Dog walkers reported their pets freezing, whining, or refusing to continue down certain paths. Then came the livestock attacks. Sheep found with throat wounds, bodies dragged. Panic spread among local farmers who depended on their animals to survive. If dogs were doing it, why were witnesses seeing cats? If cats were doing it, where had they come from? One theory pointed to Britain's past fascination with exotic pets. During the mid-20th century, wealthy owners sometimes kept dangerous animals privately. Pumas, leopards, lynxes, creatures bought for status, then abandoned when they became too expensive or too dangerous. In 1976, Britain passed the Dangerous Wild Animals Act, tightening rules on keeping exotic species. Soon, a rumor spread. Some owners, unwilling to register or surrender their animals, had simply released them into the countryside. If true, the moors would have been an ideal hiding place. Remote, game-rich, hard to search, and thick with places to disappear. Suddenly, the impossible felt possible. Then came one of the most famous moments in the case. In 1995, after years of sightings, the British government ordered an official investigation. A Ministry of Agriculture expert examined evidence and interviewed witnesses. The report concluded there was no proven evidence of a breeding population of big cats on Bodmin Moor, but it also included something intriguing. There was evidence suggesting that at least some exotic cats may have lived loose in Britain at various times. In other words, the mystery was not confirmed, but it was not fully buried either. That single crack in certainty kept the legend alive, because if one escaped cat could survive for a time, how many reports become believable? Witness descriptions varied. Some swore it looked like a black panther. Sleek, long-tailed, heavy-shouldered. Others described a tawny cat, more like a puma. Some said they saw one. Others believed there were several. Hair samples were tested. Most led nowhere. Many proved ordinary animals. Yet every few years, another sighting reignited the fire, and the moor itself added fuel. Bodmin Moor is a place where scale tricks the senses. A cat at distance can look monstrous. Mist can stretch shapes. Low light erases detail. Fear sharpens imagination. Skeptics argue that many sightings were misidentified. Dogs, feral cats, deer glimpsed badly, or stories amplified by local folklore. That explanation makes sense, but not every witness was careless. Some were farmers who knew animals all their lives. Some were police officers. Some were hunters. People used to judging movement and shape outdoors. Why would they all mistake the same thing? Then there are the photographs. Blurry shapes crossing fields, dark forms near hedges, nothing decisive, never enough to end debate, always enough to start it again. And that may be the signature of all great mysteries. Never clear enough to solve, never weak enough to fade. Imagine driving alone across the moor at dusk. Rain taps the windshield. Fog crawls low over the road. Your headlights sweep a stone wall. Then something lands on it in one fluid motion. Large, black, tail curling behind. It turns its head slowly towards you. Eyes catch the light. Then, with effortless power, it drops into the heather and is gone. Would you call it a dog? Would you step out to check? Would you tell anyone, knowing they might laugh? That fear of ridicule kept many witnesses silent for years. Some only spoke after hearing others tell nearly identical stories. Same build, same color, same silent confidence, as if one animal, or one type of animal, had been seen again and again. There have been confirmed cases elsewhere in Britain of exotic cats found or captured. That matters. It proves escapes were not impossible myths. So while a giant hidden colony may be unlikely solitary, survivors over the years become harder to dismiss completely. Could one released puma roam for seasons? Could offspring survive, unnoticed for a time? Could scattered sightings across decades involve different escaped animals rather than one immortal beast? Those questions keep investigators returning. But there is another reason this story endures. The Beast of Bodmin Moor represents something people secretly crave. The idea that wilderness still has teeth. That beyond roads, maps, fences, and satellites, something untamed still watches from cover. A reminder that nature does not always ask permission to return. Today, Bodmin Moor draws hikers, tourists, photographers, and mystery seekers. Most see only beauty. Rolling hills, stone ruins, cloud shadows racing across open land. Some still glance twice at distant movement. Some still keep dogs close when twilight fades, and every so often, another headline appears. Big cat seen on Cornish moor. Farmer reports strange tracks. Walker spots black feline shape. The story sleeps, then wakes. If you ever visit Bodmin Moor, go near sunset. Stand still when the wind drops. Listen to the silence between the gusts. Watch the ridgeline where mist meets stone. And if you notice something pacing with shoulders too high and steps too smooth, do not run. Predators love panic. We'll end this story with a poem, and here's the poem. Fog rolled low where old stones soar, and something moved on Bodmin Moor. No bark was heard, no collar shone, just padded steps through land alone. Sheep lay still where dawn winds cried, while yellow eyes watched from the side. Some said panther, sleek and black. Some swore puma on the track. Proof stayed thin, yet tales grew more. Each winter passed, then came once more. When wilderness walks through modern sight, it leaves no map by morning light. That's another story from the edge of night. Like and subscribe to keep the torch alight. Good night.